What if destiny is not something written outside you, but something slowly shaped by how you see yourself? What if beauty is not about the face or the body, but a hidden power that decides the direction of your life? And what if an ancient goddess holds a message that can change how you understand struggle, pain, and purpose today? Many people search for answers about destiny when life feels unfair. Some feel they were born unlucky. Some feel they missed their chance. Some believe beauty, success, peace, or happiness were given only to a few chosen people. Slowly, without realizing it, these thoughts become beliefs, and those beliefs begin to control choices, courage, and confidence. This is how destiny starts to feel heavy, fixed, and cruel. In Hindu mythology, Lalita Tripurasundari is known as the most beautiful goddess. But her beauty is not meant to impress the eyes. It is meant to awaken the mind. She represents balance, awareness, and inner power. Her story quietly challenges many myths we carry about destiny. The myth that birth decides everything. The myth that suffering is punishment. The myth that gentle people are weak. And the myth that wanting more from life is wrong. This story is not about worship or rituals. It is about understanding life through symbols. Lalita is not shown as distant or unreachable. She appears as a mirror, reflecting what happens when awareness replaces fear, when clarity replaces confusion, and when self-worth replaces self-doubt. Her story connects deeply with modern problems like comparison, emotional pain, pressure to settle, repeated failures, and the feeling of being stuck in the same cycle again and again. As this video unfolds, each part will reveal a different lesson hidden inside her myth. Lessons that are practical, emotional, and deeply human. If you have ever questioned your path, your pain, or your purpose, stay with this story until the end for a clearer and calmer understanding of destiny. If this journey touches your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and walk with us as we explore stories that heal, inspire, and awaken the strength already within you. In many lives, the first myth about destiny begins at birth. People often believe that the place they were born, the family they came from, or the problems they faced early in life have already decided everything. If someone grows up hearing words like, "This is how our life is," or "people like us don't go far," those words slowly become invisible rules. Without noticing, the mind accepts them as truth. Choices become smaller, dreams become quieter, and effort feels pointless. Destiny then looks fixed, not because it truly is, but because awareness has fallen asleep. The story of Lalita Tripurasundari begins by breaking this belief. She is not born from fear, accident, or chaos. She emerges from a sacred fire created by deep focus and intention. This fire represents awareness. It shows that true beginnings do not come from chance, but from clarity. Lalita's birth teaches that destiny does not start when the body is born, but when the mind wakes up. Before awareness, life moves on habit and fear. After awareness, life begins to respond. In the real world, this can be seen clearly. A child may grow up in a difficult home, surrounded by stress or lack. If that child believes those conditions define who they are, they may avoid opportunities, doubt their abilities, or fear failure. Years later, they may say, "This is my fate." But the truth is, the belief shaped the path, not the birth. Another child with the same background, but with one moment of self-belief or guidance, may choose differently. That single shift in awareness can slowly change direction. Lalita's beauty at birth is not about appearance. It is about self-recognition. She knows who she is the moment she appears, that knowing itself becomes power. The lesson here is gentle but strong. When a person begins to see their own worth clearly, destiny starts to move. Effort becomes meaningful. Fear loses control. Even small actions gain strength. This chapter reminds us that destiny is not a closed book handed at birth. It is a living path that opens when awareness replaces old stories. Like Lalita rising from the fire of clarity, a new direction begins the moment you stop asking what life gave you and start asking what you are becoming. One of the strongest myths about destiny is the belief that beauty decides who is chosen by life. Many people grow up thinking that only those who look a certain way, speak a certain way, or fit into social ideas of beauty are meant to succeed, be loved, or be respected. This belief quietly shapes confidence. People who feel they do not match these standards begin to step back. They speak less, dream less, and expect less. Over time, they start to believe that destiny favors others, not them. Lalita Tripurasundari is called the most beautiful goddess, but her beauty is not limited to form. Her name itself points to balance across 3 levels of life: thought, emotion, and action. This teaches that beauty is harmony. When the mind is clear, the heart is calm, and actions are honest, a natural strength appears. This kind of beauty cannot be measured by mirrors or opinions. It is felt through presence. People are drawn to it without knowing why. In modern life, the pressure to compare is everywhere. Images, comments, and judgments constantly tell people who is better or more worthy. A capable person may avoid applying for a job, speaking in public, or sharing ideas simply because they feel they are not good enough. Their skills remain hidden, not because they lack ability, but because their self-image blocks them. Destiny then seems unfair, but in truth, fear has closed the door. Lalita's story offers a different message. Her beauty does not seek approval. It exists in balance and self-respect. When a person accepts themselves fully, without constant comparison, their energy changes. They speak with calm. They act with confidence. Others begin to listen. Opportunities appear more often, not by magic, but because inner harmony allows clear action. This lesson is deeply practical. When you stop fighting who you are and start building inner balance, destiny responds. Decisions become easier. Relationships improve. Even failures feel lighter because self-worth remains untouched. Lalita reminds us that beauty is not a gift given to a few. It is a state built through understanding and self-trust. When inner harmony grows, life begins to open in quiet and powerful ways. Another deep myth about destiny is the belief that life is random and has no order. When problems repeat again and again, many people feel confused and tired. They ask, "Why does this keep happening to me?" A failed relationship is followed by another painful one. Money comes and goes, but never stays. Motivation rises for a short time and then disappears. Slowly, people begin to believe that life is unfair and meaningless, and that destiny moves without reason. The symbol of Lalita Tripurasundari, the Sri Chakra, quietly challenges this belief. At first glance, it looks complex, but its meaning is simple. It shows that life has layers. There is an inner world of thoughts and feelings, and an outer world of actions and results. These layers are connected. What happens outside is often shaped by what is happening inside. The Sri Chakra teaches that nothing in life stands alone. Every result has a pattern behind it. In daily life, these patterns are easy to miss. A person may struggle with money and blame luck or the economy, but never notice habits like fear of planning, emotional spending, or avoiding responsibility. Another person may face repeated emotional pain and believe love is cruel, while ignoring how they choose partners or avoid honest communication. When patterns are unseen, destiny feels like a trap. When patterns are seen, destiny becomes understandable. This is where awareness becomes powerful. Lalita's teaching through the Sri Chakra is not about control, but clarity. When a person observes their thoughts, reactions, and choices without judgment, hidden links appear. The same type of mistake, the same emotional response, the same decision made again and again. This is not punishment. It is guidance. Life repeats lessons until they are understood. Once a pattern is recognized, change becomes possible. Even small shifts matter. A pause before reacting, a new response to an old trigger, a different choice in a familiar situation. These small changes slowly reshape outcomes. Destiny does not suddenly transform, but it begins to move in a new direction. This chapter reminds us that life is not random noise. It is a message written in patterns. Lalita shows that when awareness replaces confusion, order appears. Destiny then stops feeling like an enemy and starts feeling like a guide, quietly leading those who are willing to see. Many people believe that power means being loud, aggressive, or dominant. This belief shapes how they face life. When treated unfairly, they think anger is the only answer. When challenged, they feel they must fight back harshly to survive. Gentle people often feel weak in such a world. They stay silent, accept mistreatment, and believe destiny favors those who are forceful. Over time, this creates fear, stress, and emotional exhaustion. Lalita Tripurasundari presents a very different image of strength. In her story, she faces Bandasura, a symbol of uncontrolled ego and blind desire. She does not rush into battle with rage. She remains calm, aware, and steady. Her strength comes from clarity, not noise. The battle is not just physical, it is a lesson. Ego grows when fed by anger. It weakens when faced with calm intelligence. Lalita's victory shows that true power does not react blindly. It responds wisely. In modern life, this lesson is deeply relevant. Consider a workplace where manipulation or unfair behavior exists. One person reacts with anger, creating conflict and damaging their peace. Another person stays silent out of fear, allowing the situation to continue. But a third person responds with calm clarity. They observe, document, speak when needed, and set clear boundaries without insult. Over time, this approach often leads to respect and change. The outcome is not immediate, but it is stable. Lalita's strength teaches that calm does not mean weakness. It means control. When emotions rule actions, destiny becomes unstable. When awareness guides action, destiny becomes steady. This applies to family conflicts, personal boundaries, and even inner struggles. When fear or anger takes control, decisions become rushed and harmful. When calm awareness leads, even difficult situations become manageable. This chapter reminds us that destiny does not favor the loudest voice. It responds to inner authority. Lalita shows that gentle strength can face chaos without becoming chaotic. When a person learns to act from clarity instead of reaction, life begins to shift. Respect grows, fear fades, and destiny slowly aligns with inner balance rather than outer force. Another strong myth about destiny is the belief that wanting more from life is wrong. Many people are taught that desire leads to trouble, that dreaming too big brings disappointment, and that a good person should settle quietly. Over time, this idea creates fear around ambition. People silence their inner voice, ignore their talents, and stay in situations that drain them. They may look calm from outside, but inside they feel empty. Destiny then feels dull and heavy, not because life has nothing to offer, but because desire has been pushed away. Lalita Tripurasundari represents a very different understanding of desire. She is seen as the power that fulfills wishes, but not careless wishes. Her energy stands for conscious desire, desire that comes from clarity, not greed. In her story, desire is not treated as a weakness, it is treated as direction. Just as hunger guides the body to food, desire guides the soul toward growth. When desire is denied, growth stops. When desire is understood, life moves forward. In everyday life, this myth appears clearly. A person may stay in an unfulfilling job because they fear being judged for wanting more. Another may bury a creative dream because family or society calls it unrealistic. Slowly, years pass. Regret replaces hope. They may say destiny was unkind, but the truth is, fear blocked the path. Desire was not the enemy. Fear of desire was. Lalita's teaching is gentle but firm. Wanting a better life, meaningful work, peace, or joy is not selfish. It is natural. Problems arise only when desire is unconscious, driven by comparison or ego. But when desire comes from honesty, it becomes a guide. It helps a person choose wisely, work patiently, and grow steadily. When someone listens to their true desire, without guilt, their actions change. They plan better. They learn new skills. They take small but brave steps. Destiny then begins to respond, not suddenly, but surely. Opportunities appear because effort becomes focused. This chapter reminds us that destiny does not punish those who dream. It supports those who dream with awareness. Lalita shows that desire, when guided by clarity, is not a trap. It is a bridge between who you are and who you are meant to become. One of the most painful myths about destiny is the belief that suffering is a punishment. When life brings loss, failure, illness, or heartbreak, many people quietly ask, "What did I do wrong?" They begin to blame themselves or believe that some higher power is angry with them. This belief creates deep guilt and shame. Instead of healing, people hide their pain. Instead of learning, they lose faith. Destiny then feels cruel, and life feels unsafe. Lalita Tripurasundari carries a very different message through her compassion. She is not a goddess who punishes to teach lessons. She transforms. In her presence, even enemies are not destroyed out of hate, but changed through understanding. This shows that pain is not meant to break a person. It is meant to refine awareness. Just as fire purifies gold, difficult experiences shape clarity when faced honestly. In real life, this truth appears again and again. A person who goes through heartbreak may first feel abandoned and weak. They may question their worth and lose trust in others. But over time, if they reflect, instead of closing their heart, they often discover deeper self-respect, clearer boundaries, and emotional strength they never knew they had. Another person may fail in a career path and feel ashamed. Yet that failure may push them toward a more meaningful direction that better fits their nature. Pain becomes a turning point, not a punishment. The problem begins when pain is misunderstood. When people resist pain, deny it, or label it as destiny's cruelty, suffering grows heavier. Lalita's compassion teaches acceptance without surrender. Feeling pain does not mean giving up, it means listening. Pain often points to ignored needs, unhealthy patterns, or misplaced trust. When these messages are heard, healing begins. This chapter reminds us that destiny does not speak only through joy. It also speaks through discomfort. Lalita shows that compassion starts within. When a person stops blaming themselves and starts understanding their experience, strength returns. Faith becomes quieter but deeper. Life begins to feel meaningful again. Pain does not mean you are broken. It means something within you is ready to grow. Destiny reshapes itself when pain is met with honesty instead of fear. Through Lalita's compassion, we learn that suffering is not the end of the path. It is often the moment the path becomes clear. The final and deepest myth about destiny is the belief that life controls us completely and that we are only victims of circumstances. Many people feel small in front of systems, society, family pressure, or past mistakes. They wait for luck to change, for someone to save them, or for the right time to arrive. Days pass, then years. Slowly, this waiting becomes a habit. Destiny feels like a heavy force above them, deciding everything without asking. Lalita Tripurasundari offers a powerful shift in this belief. She is not shown as a distant goddess sitting far away from human life. She represents a state of being that lives within. Balance, awareness, compassion, and clarity are not gifts given only to divine figures. They are qualities that grow inside a person through conscious living. Lalita's message is simple but strong. Destiny is not something that happens to you. It is something you take part in every day. In modern life, this truth is easy to overlook. A person may blame their job, their family, or their past for their unhappiness. Another may say they have no choice, even when small choices are available. What to say, what to accept, what to walk away from, and what to work toward are all daily decisions. These choices may seem small, but they slowly shape direction. Destiny is not built in one moment. It is built quietly through repeated actions. Lalita within means living with awareness. It means noticing thoughts before they turn into habits. It means choosing calm over reaction, honesty over fear, and growth over comfort. When someone lives this way, they stop feeling powerless. Even when situations do not change immediately, inner stability grows. Confidence becomes steady, not loud. Life begins to feel guided rather than forced. This chapter reminds us that waiting for destiny to change is less powerful than choosing to change how we live. Lalita's energy teaches responsibility without blame. You are not guilty for your past, but you are capable of shaping your future. When awareness leads actions, destiny responds naturally. Becoming Lalita does not mean becoming perfect. It means becoming present. When you live with clarity, balance, and self-respect, life slowly aligns. Destiny then stops feeling like a chain and starts feeling like a path you are finally walking with open eyes and a steady heart. As we come to the end of this journey with Lalita Tripurasundari, it becomes clear that the myths we carry about destiny are often heavier than life itself. Many of us believe that life is fixed, that beauty decides success, that pain is punishment, or that power requires aggression. These beliefs quietly shape choices, limit dreams, and create fear. They make us feel small, powerless, and trapped, as if we are only passengers on a journey we cannot control. But the story of Lalita shows a very different path. She teaches that destiny is not a force acting on us, but a response to how we live, how aware we are, and how much we value ourselves. Her beauty is not just form, but balance. Her strength is calm, not loud. Her desire is conscious, not careless. Her compassion transforms pain into learning, and her presence within each of us reminds us that even small choices matter. When we begin to see ourselves clearly, to act with awareness, and to face challenges with calm and honesty, life begins to shift. Opportunities appear, relationships improve, and repeated struggles lose their weight. Pain stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like guidance. Small steps become powerful, and dreams once silenced start to grow. Lalita's story is a reminder that destiny is not something distant or unreachable. It is built quietly every day through understanding, courage, and self-respect. Every thought, every action, and every choice shapes the path ahead. By carrying these lessons forward, we learn that life responds to inner strength and awareness. No longer are we bound by old beliefs, fear, or doubt. Instead, we can walk each day with clarity, balance, and hope, shaping a destiny that reflects who we truly are. Lalita teaches us that the power to change, the power to grow, and the power to live fully has always been inside us. When we embrace it, life begins to open in ways we never imagined.